Europe, a magical land full of entitlement and disgusting foods. But more specifically, we're talking about the land of potatoes and the home of Guinness. That's right, we are talking about Ireland and the cryptids that come from them. And for some reason, how hard it is to drink Guinness, because you can't just pop it open and drink it. You gotta pour it into a glass, and there's rules that you have to follow. So, why do you make it so complicated to drink beer, Ireland? Now, Ireland is a country rich with culture and mythology, and with a country as old as Ireland, you get a lot of interesting cryptids throughout the years, and I can't wait to show you some of these because they're pretty cool. Now, our very first cryptid on this list today is the Salmon of Knowledge, and it is a great name for a great cryptid. It may not actually be a cryptid, but it's my video, so make your own or argue with me in the comments if you don't believe it's an actual cryptid. I don't care, but it's my list, my video, my cryptids. Now, the story of the Salmon of Knowledge goes that one day there was a salmon, just, a normal old dumb salmon that just swim and eat. Well, it was swimming and it was eating, like salmon do. And it stumbled upon 9 hazelnuts and ate them, like salmon do. Now, what the salmon did not know is that these hazelnuts fell into the well of wisdom. So they're smart hazelnuts, I guess. And by eating these hazelnuts that fell into the well of wisdom, the salmon became incredibly smart. In fact, it gained the whole world's wisdom. And it went from being a dumb old salmon to very smart and very distinguished. And it is rumored that anybody who eats of the salmon's flesh gains the world's wisdom. Now, a man named Finn spent 7 years trying to catch this salmon. And one day, he caught it. After 7 years of fishing, he caught the Salmon of Knowledge. I don't know how he knew it was the Salmon of Knowledge, but he caught it, all right? And he told his servant, Fion, to cook the salmon for him. But his master Finn told him, do not under any circumstances eat the flesh of the salmon. And Fion agreed to it. Now, Fion stuck his thumb into the salmon to check if it was cooked. But what he didn't know is that he burnt his hand really bad. And he did. So he started sucking on it. And apparently, all of the oil of this salmon was contained into one drop, and that's what hit his thumb, and that's what he sucked. So he gained all of the salmon's wisdom. Then he brought the salmon to his master, and Finn looked right at him, and he was a man who had wisdom beyond his years. So he instructed Fion to consume the rest of the salmon, and then he gained all of the world's knowledge. Now, I have some questions, okay? So if there are any Irish people watching this, please let me know in the comments, because I need to know these answers, all right? Now, the first question is, when Fion sucked the oil from his thumb, he got the salmon's knowledge, right? So did he just learn how to, swim really good and breathe from gills? Now, that's my question for that. I have one more question for you, but first, we have to get into what Fion did after that. He became a great man, and he became very wise, and it is said in the story that he would have to bite his thumb, and then he'd get the wisdom. So my last question is, was his wisdom stored in his thumb, or was it in him? I don't understand that whole thing. But also, what's with the hazelnuts? Were these just some really smart hazelnuts? Do hazelnuts even have minds? Can they think? What? I'm gonna have existential crisis if I don't stop thinking about hazelnuts thinking. I can't have them anyway, but do they feel pain? I guess that doesn't matter for me, but alright. On to the next cryptid. And our next cryptid is the Mucky, which is a very special cryptid because this one has a little bit of proof about it. Now, with Mucky himself, there is no folklore surrounding him. And guess who saw him? A team of scientists. Yeah, that's right. Some scientists were mapping the lakes in Killarney. Killarney? Sure. And the scientists were mapping the lakes of Killarney. I think I'm saying that right. And these scientists discovered a 27-foot snake-like creature in the lake. And people soon believed that it was a Nessie-type sea monster in their lakes and led to a Japanese TV show going to Ireland and looking for Mucky. Now, not much is known about this creature, and it seems to only have been seen once or twice throughout the years, and there isn't much documentation on him. Now, our next cryptid on the list is the puka, which is a weird one because it is a shapeshifter that is both good and evil and somewhere in between. Yeah, it's a cryptid with a questionable morality. Now, the puka can take a couple different shapes. It can either take a shape of a person, a cat, a raven, a goblin, or a horse. However, it cannot change its colors, and it will always either have horns or a tail, no matter what shape it is in. And like I said earlier, the morality is very questionable, at best. Sometimes they may help you, and other times they might play a little trick on you. But on other times, they'll attack unprovoked. And when it's in its horse form, it can be ridden. And it won't attack you if you can get on it. Now, there is one man who, in Irish history, rode the puka. And his name is Brian Boru, who was the High King of Ireland. In fact, the king made the puka talk by using a special bridle made with puka hair, and the language it could speak was Irish, Old Irish, and English. I don't know why it's just those three, but okay. Now, our next cryptid is a bit of a dangerous one. Okay? It's been known to attack people, and it's a water one, so it's a little scary. One of its nicknames is the Irish crocodile, and it is the Dobar Coo. I hope I'm saying that right. And it is a semi-aquatic mammal that looks like a mix between a dog and a fish or a really large otter. And it can be anywhere from 6 to 13 feet long. The Dobar Coo are super aggressive. In fact, there is a gravestone from the 17th century from a woman who was attacked and killed by a Dobar Coo. And her name was Grace Connolly. And she went to go bathe in a lake. And after some time passed, her husband went to go check on her, found her dead with a Dobar Coo near her. So he went up and killed the one, and another one jumped out of the water and attacked him, and after wrestling with it for a while, eventually killed it. And there are sightings ranging from 1684 to 2013. In fact, there are 4 sightings since 2000. Some even believe Mucky is a Dobar Coo, and the last sighting has a video. This is the video.
Over there, wait. What is it?
What is that? See it? Is that a hare?
I don't know exactly what this animal could be, but it definitely seems like it was a real animal at one point. And that leads us to our very last cryptid, which is one of the most unique cryptids I have ever seen. And that is the hungry grass. That's right, this cryptid is not an animal, it is a plant, which I didn't even know was possible, but it makes sense now that there can be plant cryptids. Now, they might not be cool, but I think they are. What is hungry grass? Well, it is a patch of grass that causes people who walk on it to become very weak and very hungry. Now, a lot of people believe that the hungry grass myth started during the Great Hunger, and more specifically, on a hill called Hunger Hill, where locals were scared of a hill because they saw someone go up on the hill and never saw them come back. And after a fisherman who was new to the area and didn't know not to touch the hill began to walk up the hill, and the locals warned him, he just ignored them. But that morning, he forgot to eat breakfast. He woke up late, so he decided to take his breakfast with him. And he was walking on the hill while eating breakfast. So then the locals decided that is how you get past the hill. You must eat in order to walk on the hungry grass. But as the legend goes, the fairies of the area who enchanted the hill, they became so mad, in fact, that they spread hungry grass all throughout Ireland. So nobody had any idea what was normal grass and what was the hungry grass. Now, the very interesting thing about this myth was that the hungry grass was not always grass. In fact, it used to be known as the hungry man. Now, in the Irish language, the word fear means both man and grass. So I think somewhere along the lines they got confused, and that's how we get that idea. But that's pretty cool and terrifying that there's a piece of grass out there that if I walk on it, I could die of starvation. That is terrifying. But with that, thank you for watching my video. And if you made it to the end, congratulations. Please like and subscribe. It will really help me out. See you later. Bye.